Hey guys, it's Andy, and today I want to talk to you about an incident that happened. It started 2 days ago at a Stop and Shop. I should have recorded it 2 days ago, but I didn't. So usually I would shop at Stop and Shop for my groceries because it's closer to my home. But this particular Stop and Shop was at a different location. Also, they had lobsters there that they were ready to boil alive. Obviously, I don't agree with that, and I felt so bad. Like, I want to say something, but I don't want to make a big scene, whatever. I left feeling bad because I wanted to say something, but I didn't. It's just fucked up what they do to those lobsters. Like, they boil them while they're still alive. Like, can you imagine? Like, is there a more horrific death than being thrown into scalding hot boiling water? That's just one of the lowest things humans can do to another being. And so I said, if I see the freaking lobsters there, because sometimes the tank is empty and sometimes it's full. And that day when I walked in, it was full and I didn't say anything. So I was like, oh my God, I should say something. And I promised myself that I would the next day. So I did. I walked in the next day. My intention was to pick up lunch. It wasn't necessarily to speak up for lobsters. But I saw the tank and it was filled, and so it reminded me. And I approached the tank, and there was two ladies standing in front of it.
Abraz on fleek, the fuck?
And behind the tank was the guy who slaughters the lobsters, obviously. I approached the lady first. I had asked her, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you work here?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, I work here, but I don't work in this particular area." I guess she works at the bank section. I'm not sure. That's where I saw her later on after she ran away. But she was like, "Yeah, how can I help you?" or something like that. Or the man behind the glass tank was like, "Yeah, I work here." So I was like, "Oh, thank you." So I directed my attention to the man and I said, "Are those lobsters boiled alive?" I wasn't condescending about it. I didn't have a smirk on my face. Like, I was posing a genuine question. I knew the answer, but they didn't know that I knew the answer, and I wanted them to think about it. And so the lady automatically jumps in and answers the question for the guy, didn't even let the guy answer the question. She's like, "Ha ha 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 ha! Well, how else do you think that they're killed, honey? I mean, how else will you kill them?" And I'm like, well, I wouldn't kill them. Here comes the man. "What are you, animal rights activist? Animal rights activist?" It was the most hilarious thing in the world. Only because I said, "Excuse me, sir, are those lobsters boiled alive?" "What are you, animal rights activist? Animal rights activist?" It was funny and it kind of like took me off guard, so I didn't really know how to answer the question at first. If he would have asked me, "Am I a vegan?" I would have said, "Yes, I am vegan," whatever. I think the fact that he asked me, "Am I an animal rights activist?" I think in their minds they see it more, extreme, more out there in your face, protesting, all that stuff. And so I didn't want to say that I was part of that. I'm not trying to be in the closet about it, but this is a certain way you go about making certain decisions. And I feel like in that moment, I wanted to come across as just a concerned consumer. And so I didn't want to be an animal rights activist in that moment, even though secretly I was. So then he went into this like weird, crazy place inside his mind. He cut me off. He didn't even let me answer the question. And he was like, "Well, the way I kill them is I pull them out of the tank and then I place them down and then I take a big knife and I stab them and I rip their guts out and I do all these things and then I throw them in the, I don't know what the hell." Basically, all he wanted me to know was that the lobsters die in the most horrific way possible. And I understand, I get why people do that. Like, it's a defense mechanism. He can't sit there and empathize with the animals that he's killing. And so he feels anger, he feels hostility, he feels offended. And so the way people deal with that is by throwing it back in your face. It's almost as if they feel like you're throwing it in their face and they don't want to deal with it. So it's like, I don't want it, so I'm throwing it back. It's like that game of hot potato. Have you ever played that game of hot potato? Bitch, we don't want the potato because it's too damn hot. So you throw it to the next person. But yeah, it's just interesting the reactions that you can get for simply asking a question. Let me tell you guys something. This is why I truly believe that veganism is fucking powerful. That's because no matter how much you try to suppress the truth, it's always there waiting to burst out. So Oh shit, I really have to go. I'm so sorry. Well, till then, peace and love. Literally, peace and love. Spread that and speak up for the animals.
Baby, no cha, no cha, no cha, na cho hô bó can, hai dòng si, bác xin ô, lao a cais, ma kê tô, hai dòng si,